no agenda to this video really, other than just enjoying the plants, and hopefully we can get some folks on here and just enjoy the plants together. I've got maybe about 30 minutes of time that I can dedicate to a live video here today, and thought I would just spend some time with you uh, all my favorite peeps, and we could check out the plants together. Here we have a beautiful Sarracenia Michelliana, done very well. I up potted it at the beginning of this growing season, and it was very happy with that decision, as it has tripled in size easily since I've done that. We'll continue to up pot that. It will probably be good for that pot for a little bit, but I'm planning on moving to more of a traditional bog garden approach, and so I'll be moving away from pots more than likely here coming up in the next coming years, and we'll be doing more of like that situation right there. For it seems to allow these little kiddie pools to last longer, and then also my plan is I would like to get one in the ground and just get a big old bog garden going. But in the meantime, for this growing season, everything will be in pots. Here we got a beautiful purpurea. It's actually a few purpurea that are filling out quite nicely and growing together. Um, love purpurea. Cannot wait. This is still just coming out of dormancy, believe it or not, and it is good size. A little clump here. It will continue to get bigger and bigger. Look at this Micheliana here. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at the color on that lip. Cannot wait to see that one grow out fully mature, and hopefully continue to grow the Sarracenia collection. Um, in this pot right here are a few, several hundred, probably maybe close to 1,000. I don't know, probably not 1,000, but several hundred that are growing here, and so can't wait to be able to get those. It doesn't look like a whole much, but like in this pot alone, um, my biggest concern is I hope that they don't sort of smother each other out before I get a chance to up pot them. I thought about, so you don't, and this during this time period, you really don't want to, like, big time don't want to repot them because it's right in the middle of their growing season, but you can do what's called a slip pot without too much of a problem. A slip pot is basically, if I was to up pot these into larger pots without disturbing the roots, just take off the pot that they're currently in without disturbing the roots, drop it right in. Or if I was to do like a bog garden, just drop it right in the hole. That way I'm not impacting the roots. But you certainly here in June are not going to want to mess with their roots. You're going to want to leave them alone. And so I'm going to watch it. If I start seeing any signs of stress, hey everybody, hey, what's up? What's up? If I start seeing any signs of stress, I'm definitely going to start to slip pot them. But at this time, you do not want to up pot them, or excuse me, transplant them and mess with their roots too much. But if you've watched earlier content, you'll realize that it wasn't too long ago, it was just a couple months ago, that this was a completely barren. And so now it really has growing full size. So a lot of these, not full size, but full gear, a lot of these plants, well, all of them are a year old, which is hard to believe already. And they were all grown from seed from me. And I like to grow my plants very naturally. So I probably could have got a much higher yield rate if I would have grown them incubating style. I tried doing that and had success with it with old fish tanks and stuff like that. But I really wanted to see these make it through their first winter, even as small little seedlings. And so I put them out here very early in their life. And so I know that the ones that are growing in here are healthy and strong and will do quite well. We are in Florida, so we don't really get tough winters, especially for these plants. These plants can handle all the way down into the negatives. But definitely into the teens just fine, and or yeah, 10 degrees even less. Here in Florida, we're only getting at the coldest 20 something degrees, so not too concerned about that. Look at this gorgeous Morii. Holy cow. Look at the little baby that just popped up. Isn't that beautiful? And that's the thing. One of the things I did Part of me regrets it, but another part of me is glad I did it, is I just kind of sprinkled seedlings everywhere. Um, and I like the idea of them all being mixed together. Look at a little banana growing in there. What's interesting about that is if you remember about a month ago, I made a video where I just took a root from one of these um, bananas, and I just put it in here, and now look at it, it's growing. I was trying to show how easy it would be to grow. This right here is what's called a Sarracenia. For those who are not familiar, this is an Okefenokee giant. Lots to say, but it's from the Okefenokee swamp here in Florida. It is starting to come out of dormancy, um, and so it doesn't look like a whole lot now, but it will not be long, and this thing will be so full and flush with absolutely gorgeous um, leaves. So I cannot wait for that. What's really cool about this plant is it eats fish. And so, for those who have watched my channel, you're like, yeah, 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 we've heard this a bunch of times. But for those who are new, um, these beautiful little pitchers here eat fish. And I think this is such a unique, cool plant. It does not get a lot of love. A lot of the taller Sarracenias, more upright growing Sarracenias, are the ones that get a lot of love. But I think the Sarracenia and the Purpurea, these sort of prostrate growing plants, are well deserving of the love and attention that their taller siblings get. Yeah, pretty cool stuff here. Okefenokee. Yeah, it's definitely a hard one. Hard one to pronounce is what it is called. Um, it is neat. They have smaller versions of this that are not the Okefenokiensis giants, and so this is a very fun one to grow. They do have smaller ones though, if you don't want like a huge patch of it. But I can't imagine why. But it grows very very fast. So this is only the second season of me growing it, and as you can see, it's already got new growth coming out everywhere. So that is really exciting to see. I'll show you a really cool thing too. This I'm very excited about. This is underneath that spider web is a Drosera capensis Hercules. And so Hercules normally does not like very hot conditions, so I did not think it would do very well here outside in Florida, but it must be getting enough to be able to flower, and so that will self-pollinate, and yeah, and we will get some little baby capensis Hercules. Here we have some Stelidium growing just fine, Stelidium debil, also known as the frail trigger plant. And so that is a fun one to grow. Um, let's see what else we got here. Here's a whole big old tray of Stelidium debil. If you've ever watched me talk about this one, you'll know that it will multiply very, very fast. I just put in this little quasi bog, if you will, um, not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago. And I just little sort of just poked some plants around, but as you can see, they're already growing from underground stolons pretty rapidly, and they are starting to flower. If I had not disturbed these would be much further along with the flowering, but that's okay. My goal is to get a whole bunch of Stelidium debil going, so that way I can give away some of these little clusters here to people who are wanting to grow them. Man, it is an absolutely beautiful overcast day here in Florida. You can see everything is blowing in the breeze. Here is this beautiful Mitchelliana, very, very cool plant. Oh, look at that. Caterpillar got a hold of it. See it? That's okay. You can put 3-in-1 and stuff down to get rid of the caterpillars, but I personally don't mind them. They turn into butterflies, and I love butterflies. So, cost of doing business. Here are the Drosera bananas, all growing in healthy and beautiful. And so, yeah, very fun plants. You lived around Tampa a couple decades, so you very much understand um, what it is to live in Florida in the heat. But what's really cool is these plants do amazingly well um, in this Florida heat. And here's a little Florida native. This is a Floridana, Filiformis floridana. It is flowering, and so those flowers are um, going to be pollinated, and so that will be producing some beautiful little babies. Floridana is a smaller filiformis, but it does stay red and it is gorgeous. Boy, I really can't get enough of how well this purpurea has done. Very beautiful. It's growing in quite nice. I cannot wait to see it fully grown. It's got a ways to go before it fills out and wakes completely up from dormancy, but I'm excited to see it. There's some more plants over here. One of my Venus flytraps. Woo, still too fast. Head rush. But yeah, a lot real quiet today. Thursday night, but very, very quiet. I made a long form video too. That's been very, very quiet. So everybody must be out having fun. Hopefully you're having a good time here Thursday night, where I am at least. Yeah. All right, everybody. I think that's going to do it. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I just wanted to get on here and say hello to everybody. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you have a wonderful night and or day, depending where you are. See you soon. Bye bye.